He is a techno-spiritualist, a follower of Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, propounded by Bhagavad Ramanuja and Swami Desika. A qualified Pancharatra Agamagan priest, Bhatta, and Kalakshepa Shishya of Sri Uve A.P.N. Swami. Today's discourse, Upanyasam, on Margazhi Vaibhavam, Glories of Andal Vaibhavam. So let's welcome Sri Malolan, Karthik.
वंदे लक्ष्मीपतिं देवं शङ्खचक्रगदाधरं विद्यामूर्तिमयग्रीवं श्रद्धार्थज्ञानलब्धये यस्या भवद्भक्तजनार्त्यन्धो पितृत्वमन्येष विचायतूर्णं स्तम्भे अवतारत्तमनन्यलभ्यं लक्ष्मीनृसिंहं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीमद्यै गोदायै नमः श्रीमते रामानुजाय नमः श्रीमते निगमान्तमहादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमते श्रीमन् षडगोपश्री रङ्गनाथेतीन्द्र महादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमते वात्स्यश्री कृष्णमार्य महादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमते अनन्तपद्मनाभार्य महादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा कृतिम्. Namaste. It is extremely a big honor and a privilege that I'm here in this august audience to talk a few words on Marzhi. You know, when they say it's in Rama Avatara and Krishna Avatara took place, Krishna gave us a lot of Upanyasam in this Bhagavad Gita. But before Krishna could really preach on the path of Dharma and how to live our life, prior to him, Lord Rama walked that path. He lived the life of Dharma. He enacted everything that we need to do. Then the Upanyasam of Krishna came later. So like that, we had just before this, the beautiful children and the ladies of Raghavan school enacting the importance and glories of Nama Sankirtana and Bhajan. After such performance, it's only some few words to just to follow through whatever they have done. Extremely wonderfully played by them. Thanks to Marzhi for grooming them in such a beautiful way. So Sifaa has been organizing this Margazhi Utsavam. It's a very commendable initiative. So, which actually was thinking, and why Margazhi Utsavam? Why is it such a, even back in India when you say Margazhi Utsavam, it's one of a dream come performance series for any aspiring artist anywhere in the world to be there in the music season in Margazhi to be able to perform there. So, any ideas or clues on why is this month taken very specifically? Why is it not like a Chitra Utsavam? Why is it not a summer festival? Why is it a Margazhi Utsavam? And we've been listening to a lot of music, so let's make it a bit interactive this time. There is a lot of monologues and more music and our dancers to follow through for the next 2 days. So anybody has an idea? Why this December month is taken, why the holy month of Margazhi is being taken up to promote music and dance and culture?
The weather is dark and gloomy, so we need something more.
Okay. Oh, yes, you can say that.
During last Margazhi, somebody video giving speech, right? So I learned, I still have it in my heart, right? So 1 year in year is equal to 1 day in Vaibhavam, right? So
Right.
yearly morning Vaibhavam, so it is more waking up the Lord with our praise and praise.
Absolutely. Thank you. So when we look at the calculation of how the time span works, we have our typical 24 hours a day and 360 days or 365 days a year, which calculates our year. And the day is split into two parts, sunrise and sunset. So similarly, for our 1 year of our human time span, in the Devalokas is 1 day. When you say 1 day of Devalokas time, Deva's time, and their sunrise time, so their morning time, is actually the beginning of the Uttarayana Punyakala, the Shankaranti day. So when for us also, when they say sunrise happens at 6 o'clock, usually back in India, now we keep changing it. But when the sunrise happens, we have the period of almost 1.5 to 2 hours before sunrise, which we call as a Brahma Muhurta. Now, says, Acharya Brahme Muhurte Uttaya Nitya Karmadiyam Krishtva Alayam Pravasya. So, one has to be waking up in the Brahmavana Brahma Muhurtam for us also. So, we wake up during the Brahma Muhurtam time, complete the Nitya Karma Anushtanas before the sunrise, and Alayam Pravesya, enter the Lord's temple during the sunrise time, and then continue back to the rest of the japas and the. So when for us, when we do that in the Brahma Muhurtam time, for Devas also when they have to go and worship Paramapadam, so there they wake up in their Brahma Muhurtam time, finish their Nitya Karma Anushtanams and chant the japas in the Brahma Muhurtam. So that period, which is the 1.5 hours before sunrise, is that 1 month before the beginning of Shankaranti, the Margazhi, which typically in the month of December, January in the Roman calendar. So when they in that Margazhi, even though despite the very cold period anywhere in the world, then we still wake up much earlier. When pujas in the temple happen at 6 a.m. usually, especially in Garuda Masa, puja will start at 5 a.m. So even before, so we are in our Brahma Muhurtam time, we enter the temple coinciding and making it a more of a collective prayer effort. So that's where the Margazhi gets a lot of importance. In Margazhi and the significance of it has much a bigger purpose for us. From that, when we say Margazhi and our music festivals and Nama Sankirtanam, dance, bhajans, it's a very common sight. We see that from early morning we have a lot of bhajan groups going on and praying, praising the Lord. So why is this bhajans or Nama Sankirtanam so much of pradhanya? Now when we understand it, probably we have to go back a few yugas. You know about the Dashavatara when the Lord took form of Varaha Avatara, when Hiranyakashipu took Bhumadevi and got submerged, Perumal took the avataram of Mahavaraha to rescue Bhumadevi. The story is all known to most of you. So when the Lord, in the form of a small boat, comes out from the nasal of Brahma, then transforms himself into a huge Mahavaraha. This Mahavaraha's form is said to be so big. When Alvar says, he says, Silambinidai Siruparal Pol Periya Meru Kanakara. When Mahavaraha's form is so big, he says that huge Varaha Perumal, in his legs will be having his Thattai, the small kolusu which we have it in the legs. So the Thattai of Varaha Perumal. So your Thattai is also filled with small pearls and gems too, so that it makes its song when we walk. So in Mahavaraha Perumal's Thattai, also there were small stones it seems. One stone was Mount Meru, one stone is Himalayas. We say one stone is the Jungfrau, one stone Mount Eiger. So in that mountain has to be a stone inside the Thattai of the Lord. How big must be that, and how big would be the lake which was having that Thattai there. So that was about Mahavaraha. So Mahavaraha Perumal, so after rescuing Bhumadevi from, after killing Hiranyaksha and bringing Bhumadevi out, so he makes her, Bhumadevi, and she was kind of very, I would say, panicking, and she was very restless it seems. So Varaha Perumal was asking her, okay, now fine, we have saved you. And she makes Bhumadevi sit in his lap and inquires, now, are you okay? No, it's fine, you take care. And Bhumadevi says, no, I am not okay. When the Lord was asking why, he says, yes, I was there submerged in this ocean and you came in this form just for me and rescued me. But all my children are suffering. They are also down suffering the ocean of samsara. When you are rescuing me, what will happen to all the children who are there in this ocean of samsara? When the child is suffering, no mother can be happy, even if they are in the best place ever possible, which is the Lord's lap. You can actually see when you have we see a form of Lakshmi or Agar in the Vigraha Murti everywhere. You would say that Bhuma Devi will be there on his left lap. Now she will be kind of leaning towards the Perumal, slightly hugging you. And Varaha, he will have his hand given under Bhuma Devi. So Bhuma Devi's feet will be resting on Lakshmi Varaga's arm. So in that posture, so Mahavaraha Perumal, he was when he was trying to convince her, and she says, "No, my children are suffering. So what is the way out, and who will save them?" Varaha Perumal gave his Upadesam and instructions on how mankind can come out of the samsara and reach the Lord. So Perumal gave the entire summary of what it is, which is documented in the Varaha Purana. How many of us know Varaha Purana? So even though Perumal gave us Upadesam, it's there in the Vedas, it's there in the Puranas, but at the end of the day, Bhumadevi herself knows. Okay, she said, okay, you have told me everything, but what is the way to make it easily reachable to the Lord, to the mankind? So she said, okay, she has to come and herself and give back the message. So what did Varaha Perumal say? Varaha Perumal was talking about a very easy solution with which we will be able to cross this samsara and reach. He was like, okay, how can we get rid of our sins? How can we get into this path of devotion? So on. So Varaha Perumal, not quoting back the Sanskrit verse, but was conveying to say that, okay, it's, when we have our mouth, use it to sing the name of the Lord. Vaayinal paadi, manasinal sindikka, thoomalar thoovi tholdu. The synchronization of Mano, Va, Kaya. Use our hands to do Archana. Use your mouth to sing the name of the Lord. Use the mind, the Manas, to reflect, contemplate on His divine qualities. Okay, I'm doing it. So what? We do sing a lot of bhajans and we have bhajan sessions. So what happens in this process? Varaha Perumal clarifies. When we say we have a dirty cloth, what happens to the dirty cloth? We wash it in the water, the cloth gets purified. But when we have dirty water, how will we purify the dirty water? Can we wash it with more water? How many? We have back home. We used to have a well in our house in India. Sometimes the well gets very dirty. So how will we clean the well which is dirty? Or how will we clean ponds and lakes which is dirty? Alum. So we have certain products. I don't know even in English we say Tetan Gottai, where we have there are alum which is padikaram. So there are these products. When we put it in the well, it automatically cleanses the water and we get pure water coming out of it. So Nelli Mulikottai, Tetan Gottai and Padikaram are some of those things which has that effect of transforming, cleaning the water which we see in our eyes, pure science. Similarly, we have, our mind is one of the dirtiest bins you can ever see. It's filled with so much of thoughts. We are here today, we are talking, we are listening, but how many of us are completely present here? Mind is running in a lot of directions. It's the horses of the mind is not controllable. Here we used to have, in almost all our houses, we have this, along with, we have beautiful bedroom, living room, puja room, kitchen, but their apartments and houses also construct a beautiful room just to dump garbage also. Right? We have what we call in German Keller. So that's a place where we keep dumping out most of the things. How often we clean it? How often do you take things out of it?
When we leave the house.
When we leave the house. Take it from one color to move to the next color. Exactly. That's a practical scenario. But still, there is an exercise where you do it at least once in several years. But how often do we clean our mind? How do we purify our mind? How do we purify our thoughts? So the magic solution which cleanses our minds, purifies it, is Nama Sankirtana. Sachin, sing the glory of the Lord. So with that, it's just as if putting alum in water. It will automatically clean. It will automatically clean itself. There used to be, we see it in the news from back in India, where, when there are people, when we rent our houses and we come abroad and people who occupied there for 20 years, 30 years, and when we try to go back and take, they say, no, I will live there all the time, this is my house. We just can't, make them move out. And there are stories which we read in the news. So what do we do to send them out of the house? We have some very specialist collection agents. When we engage them, pay them money, they will make sure they will do whatever is needed to make them vacate our land and to make it come to us. Like this, there is so much of all these people living inside us. All our kama, krodha, lobha, moga, mada, matsarya. They are all occupying our mind and they don't want to vacate. I've been here. You gave me all this time. How will, if you just say all of a sudden one day come leave, where will I go? This is my place. They can't go so easily. How do we make them go out? See, there is a specialist collection agent, the Lord. Once you invoke him, invite him and say, you come and take my place, you come into my heart. When he comes inside, he will make sure automatically everybody moves out. There is no hope for anyone to stay back as long as we engage and keep our supreme collection agent to be there in our heart. As long as he is there. So Mahavaraha gives this message to Bhuma Devi to say that with this process, we will all be able to come out of samsara. So Bhuma Devi also wants to come back and give back this message. So Bhuma Devi, she takes in the birth of Andal, Goda Devi. How many of you heard of Andal? Okay. How many of you heard of Tirumarshi Alvar? How many of you know Tirupavai? Heard of Tirupavai? Tiruvazhukottirukkai? Tiruchendavirkam? There are, we have these 12 Alvars who are completely engrossed in the Bhakti. They sang Divya Prabandhams. But in all the 12 Alvars, we had the lady superstar, Andal, who was only 5 years old, but not only equal or surpassed and swept off all the worth of all the Alvars and to stand out so specially, so separately, is because of her motherly love and affection towards us. Bhuma Devi's incarnation as Andal. But they say if all the bhakti bhavam of all the Alvars, when we say there is only one child in the family, now all the properties of which is being inherited by every family member goes to that one child, because no one else has no other. So all the Alvars have made this journey with their prabandhams to reach the Lord, giving us a message, and they gave all as a Sridharam to Andal, who got married to the Lord. And with that Andal's two beautiful works of Tirupavai and Nachiyar Tirumazhi, she gives us that her milk of Jnana Bhakti Vairagya, which summarizes with whatever she has learned directly from Varaha Perumal in the Krita Yuga. In Kali Yuga, she takes birth as Andal and gives us the message of her Tirupavai. We had the Margazhi Andal in Tirupavai was sang so beautifully. Tirupavai is something which is very, very easily understandable, singable by right from the children who are just starting to learn music, learn even how to speak. 4 years, 5 years kids will be able to not only sing, they can even teach us the meaning of Tirupavai. At the same time, the most knowledgeable scholars who have mastered these Bhashya Sutras and Vedas and Veda Ragasyas, Tirupavai is also close to their heart. It is a Bhagavad Ramanuja who was called Sri Bhashyakara for his commentary on the Brahma Sutras. When he goes on for Ujjavritti, he will not be quoting Upanishads and Vedas. He quotes Tirupavai. He sings Tirupavai every day when he goes for his daily Ujjavritti. So much that he was called as Tirupavai Jiya and Kovil Annan, Godakracha, Ramanuja. Swami Vedanta Desikar, when singing on the glory of Goda Devi, sings beautifully. Sri Vishnu Chitta Kulanandana Kalpavalli Sri Rangaraja Harichandana Yoga Drishyam Sakshat Kshamam Karunayam Kamalam Iva Anyam Godam Ananya Sharanam Aham Prapadye. Andal was born to Periyalvar, Vishnu Chitta. So, when we say born, he was not born to Periyalvar and what we know from the human concept of birth. But Bhuma Devi appeared in the garden of Periyalvar under a Tulasi tree, and Periyalvar during his morning Pushpa Kainkaryam finds the baby under the Tulasi tree, names her Goda and brings her up. So Goda Devi, as Andal was right from her appearance in this material world, was living filled with divine qualities with Periyalvar, listening to Periyalvar stories, Krishna Katha, and to such an extent that when she was about 4 or 5 years old, she was like she will marry only Krishna and no one else. So that was her level of bhakti towards Krishna. Krishna, when you say the word Krishna itself is so appealing to everyone. When Krishna's from his very childhood pranks and deeds to become with this from just appealing to all from the children. When we talk about any avataram to any children, what first comes into their mind and the closest to their mind is Krishna avatara. Similarly, for all the jnanis, one of the greatest Upanyasam of Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita and the way he has transformed, that was such an amazing thing. So, similarly, Andal with Krishna's, we can compare to say that from the right from children's attraction with Tirupavai to all the Pandits to the Saram of Vedas and Upanishads in Tirupavai is beyond any comparison to anybody else of any other work of any other. So Andal's Tirupavai, it's 30 verses. We can say it's neither too big or too small. Unfortunately, we don't have much time to even look into Tirupavai in a proper aspect today. We can do it in subsequent sessions. So we just want to take a couple of pearls from Tirupavai to say on how this message from Varaha Perumal also comes into us before we step out. The children sang Margazhi Andal, which is the first pasaram of Tirupavai. There, Andal comes to say very clearly, it's like how we say as the first ball sixer. Someone comes into it and then hits it straight. She comes back to say, who is the Paradevam? What has happened? What is going to happen? Then she would say, Narayane Namakke Parai Karuvan. Whatever we want in life. We'll go back to at a later stage to understand what that Parai she is referring in there. But we say, whether it would be, from material benefits to health benefits to even moksha. The moksha which Janardana, whatever we want, which is given to us by Narayana. Unto whom? Narayana is the supreme being. You say, now how can I, if you say the president of the country can't do anything which is there in the country, but are we in a stage to go and receive and to approach the president and ask for favors? No, but this Narayana, even for very normal people like us, Narayana, Namakke, even for the most commonest man you can ever find, he is there. He is going to be here to take care of us. Narayana, Namakke Parai Garuvan. But when, yes, it is good to have aspiring for moksha. It is very good that we don't want to be living in the samsara anymore. We have enough of misery with life and death. But we want to reach Sri Vaikuntham and reach the Lord. Very ultimate ambition. But how do we do that? How is that we will be able to, when we say what is the fundamental qualification when we say when somebody has to be leaving this life of birth and death and leaving, getting into moksha, is that when we get rid of all our karma palas, which is our punya pala and the power. So we have been born here in this world because of our karma. And every soul which is taken of some life form of other, undergoes its cycle of karma, completes that body, leaves the body, and the soul gets retransformed which into the next body. Krishna describes all the whole process beautifully in Bhagavad Gita. We will not go there. But we keep taking this body after body after body. Then when is the end of this whole cycle process of how do we get rid of our karma? Varaha Perumal had answered it. Upanishads quote it. Message is lost. Andal summarizes it so beautifully. It's like, we all had our vaccinations. What is the role of a vaccine? If Margazhi here, I should not talk about medical vaccines, but it is there to take care of, prevent the diseases from entering our body, right? Even if you don't have it. We have vaccines for the body. But how many of us have taken vaccine for the soul? Is there a vaccine for the soul? We are here to save, this body could be saved from COVID. Okay, I have had my 4 doses. I can so far be assured none of the existing variants will affect me. Body is taken care. How is the soul protected? The vaccine for the soul is described with Acharya Sambandha. It's with help of a guru, with the grace of a guru, we get the vaccine for the soul. So what happens in this process when we try to go approach a guru and undergo this process of vaccination for us? Andal, again quoting back from Varaha Perumal's and quoting back from Upanishads, he says, when this process happens, then we purify our thoughts, words and deeds. In the 5th Pasaram of Tirupavai itself, even before she goes further elaborating, she says, Mayanai Manda Vadamadare Mandanai Vayinal Padi Manathinal Sindhikka Thumalar Thuvi Toldu Poya Pirayum Puguduruvan Indranamum Teenil Dusagum. We have this process of, this is the Trikarna Shuddhi. So purification of thought, word and deed. We go, have Acharya Sambandham, undergo the vaccination, which is the Prapati process. Once we are vaccinated, the soul is vaccinated, he says, yes, we have so much of karma which is accumulated to us. Whatever karma which we have accumulated, whatever sins we have done until the day of vaccination is destroyed like cotton on fire. What happens when you put cotton on fire? Can we trace back the ashes of cotton? Teenal Dusa. Okay, I have undergone my vaccination. We had one dose. They said, no, we have no variants, not enough. You need a second booster. Okay, not enough. You need a third booster. I think we had 4 now, right? I don't know if I had 3 or 4. 4. But we don't know if that is the last. Similarly, all our sins, we have so much of sins, everything is destroyed on the day we get vaccinated. But Andal says, I know, you are not going to stop committing sins. We will do sins, commit sins every day. Every day, every second, we commit so much of sins for which there is no way out. So she does not come back to say, if you commit more sins, what will happen? There is no if there. It will happen because that we are born to samsara. In this samsara, it is bound to happen that knowingly, unknowingly, we are committing so much sins. So what happens to those sins which accumulates after the day of vaccination? Is that it is not what is not destroyed. Destruction is a one-time process. There is only one vaccine we need. We don't need a second vaccine at all for our soul. Only once Sharanagati is performed. But the rest of all is like just dusted, like how we have drops of water on the a lotus leaf. It could be a tremendous downpour of rains. But at the end of the day, you just take the lotus leaf, one pat, there is no strain of water there left on it, irrespective of how much of downpour it might have been before that. So that happens to us on this way forward. So with Andal and Varaha Perumal giving us this beautiful message of keep reflecting, contemplating the name of the Lord at every point of time. We have this opportunity, these 2 days to be enjoying every performer, every song which is performed. It is not to come and showcase it, and it is there offering back to the Lord, which is in all of you. So we will continue to be reflecting, take every possible moment, because there is no death of the names of the Lord. We got 1008 names in the Vishnu Sahasranama. We got all the stories of all the Lords which is described from the Purana. There is so much new things which we keep for us to keep reflecting every day. So pray to all of you that let's all be in this journey together, reflecting on the names of the Lord, enjoying, immersing ourselves with the divine music, with dance, immersing our life in Nama Sankirtana. And whatever we would be able to get, it is not the process of only spiritual benefits and moksha. And again comes back to say to that, there is also this, whatever wealth we need, it is also achievable. It is there for us. There is an abundance of wealth, but wealth for not only to meet our material desires, but wealth for kaikaryam. Use all the wealth that we accumulate. That for all Bhagavata Kainkaryams, help the people, help the poor and needy, help those who serve others. Not every one of us could be having our boots on the field to help the poor people, but there are organizations who take care of that, supporting through them. We will also be able to contribute in a way to take care of. So we use that wealth, which is Andal describes in the Ongi Valaranda Pasram. So with the prayers, Udanaraikam Vandal Perupasukal Ningada Seldom Nerendero Embavai, conclude. Kavitarthika Simhaya Kalyana Gunasharine Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful knowledge which he has shared. And it's really, making us think each and every time when we listen to these things. They are there, but it's every time it's like, some brushing is there. And oh yes, we have to do that. Thank you very much, sir. You really have explained it so nicely. And with the simple examples, I just love your Alam example. It was so practical, and I think it is really true. We should be doing this cleaning quite often than we clean our houses. Thank you very much.